So what I do is when I actually look at individuals, and I'll explain to you the techniques I use to recruit, I think you might find it interesting. If you're going for an interview, you've rehearsed on the way for an interview process the questions they're going to ask you. What's your strength? What's your weakness? True? Are you organized? Tell me about your organizational skills. When was the last time you did something? So we prepared all the lies. We prepared all the lies. And the guy who interviews, he's already prepared the questions, right? So we go through this process of lying to each other, and then we make an emotional decision at the end. So what we do is, I place an advert based on motivation. And the guys I've hired, and I hope you'll see them later, they're extremely motivated. They haven't asked for one, I was going to say dollar or dirham, one lari to be here because they're motivated. They want to be part of it. They thanked me for coming here. They organized tonight because my staff are all motivated. So when I place the ad, I say, looking for superstar salespeople. So the person reads it. How often have you read adverts when you think, this person doesn't exist? They want so many qualifications and skills that it's hard to place myself in this job. So you qualify yourself out. So what we do is we place an advert based on emotions. We say we're looking for a superstar who's self-motivated, who's happy, who's a leader. Is that you? We just happen to be a digital company. We don't talk about how long we are, how successful we are, nothing. If you're that superstar we're looking for, dial this number. So our receptionist is sitting on the other side of the phone, and he answers the phone and says, is Jane there? Because for every campaign, we have a different name of a lady. So if it's Jane, we know it's for web development. If it's Sarah, we know it's for social media management. But the same person answered the phone. So what she says is, hi, I'm Jane. What makes you a superstar? And if the person mumbles, we say, call us back when you know when you're a superstar. Right? If they're a superstar, especially in sales, can they handle rejection? They must. They must. So if the superstar gets a rejection, what's the first thing they do? They learn and call back.
Can I have a book?
Right? Thank you. Oops. Salome. Salome's gorgeous son. So where was I? Yeah, they call back. And then what happens is we eliminate those 200 people who call to around 15 to 16 people. And we say to them, yes, you can come and meet Dariush on a one-to-one interview at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. We tell all 20 people the same thing. So at 5 to 9, they arrive. And we put them like in a dentist chair, right next to each other, in a line. And in there, we have a spy. Okay? So the spy sits there and monitors how people are dressed when they come for an interview. They monitor, do they come with their boyfriends? Do they come with their girlfriends? Sometimes people come with their fathers to the interview in Dubai, yes? Because the father wants to check the place out, right? So are those the kind of people we want? No. Because the father doesn't come and sit with you on a one-to-one interview, but we can see the process behind the interview. And then we run the meeting late by 20 minutes. You know why? Because then they realize the game's changed. And when you're a small, does change happen? All of the time. So we monitor how people behave when they realize there's change. Some people get negative, some people get on the phone a taxi, some people go for a cigarette smoke. Yes? Do we want those people representing our company? No. We run the meeting late by 20 minutes. Do prospects run late? Yes. Anyone? Do prospects run late? Oh, forget, I'll keep the book to myself, right? Okay. I was dying to give a book away when nobody took it. Right, so prospects run late. Do you want your salesperson to be in a mood because your prospects run late? No. Hi. You get a book for turning up. Thank you very much, right? Welcome. I don't do this all night. You're just very lucky. So then I come in. I say, right, everybody form a circle. Everybody form a circle. They all sit around the table, and I tell them that I'm going to interview all 20 people in a 40-minute process. And they're not allowed to talk about their qualifications. They're not allowed to talk about their qualifications. I tell them that after 40 minutes, 1 hour after the interview, I will personally call them and tell them whether they got the job or not. Make sure you're available. How many people get past the first stage, but they forget to make themselves available? Crazy. Crazy. Right? You don't want them to do that in a sales process. They do all the work, leave the proposal, but they don't answer the phone when the prospect comes, when the prospect calls, right? So if they can't sell themselves, if they can't pick up the phone, I don't want them in my organization. So imagine we interview, out of 20, maybe 10 don't turn up. I've saved myself 10 hours of sitting there looking at an empty chair. So I interview 10 people in the process. When I get them to sing, I get them to dance, I get them to ask questions, and then at the end, they have a piece of paper in front of them. And I said, listen, my decision is 1 out of 10 people. I want you to decide, if you were in my position, who you would hire. Okay? And write the name of the person on that piece of paper. Do you know, people say, don't hire me, hire her. They come to sell themselves, yes? And they actually say, don't hire me, hire her, or somebody else's name. Do you want to send a salesperson selling your products when they say, buy from the competition? True? Who agrees that's wrong? Oh, everybody wants books. There we are. May I? Do you mind?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, I only have 2 more left. I'll try to keep this quick. So, by the way, I can go really in-depth in this stuff, but this one I really believe passionately about. So you want people excited. We eliminate, so afterwards, we get a piece of paper, and it's really exciting. And what you'll find, most people vote for the person that you liked. Because the first rule of sales is, people buy from people they like and trust. No matter how good your product is, if that person is not likable, they're never going to buy from you. No matter how good the deal is, if they don't trust you, they'll never buy from you. Okay, so they pass the first process. And what I'm looking for, the superstar saying, hire me, right? I hardly get that answer on a piece of paper. So what happens is I call them in an hour. Hopefully the superstar says, yes, did I get the job? 99% of the time I reject them, okay? And they go, well, thank you so much, I was inspired. And when they leave, I give them a gift voucher. Because the process was inspiring, they often become customers. It's amazing. They often recommend their friends to come and work for our company because they got inspired. They never feel rejected. And also, when I say to people, I'll call you in an hour, I'll call them in an hour. Not 59 minutes, not an hour and 10 minutes, because why? They judge you by your promises. People judge you by your promises. So, the superstar answers the phone. I said, I'm sorry, you were so close, but you didn't get the job. And what I want to hear, because in a sales process, how many rejections do you get before you get a yes, on average? 7 times. On average, you get 7 rejections before you get the deal. If the guy can't handle my rejection, and he says, okay, sorry, boom, put the phone down. Is he the superstar I'm looking for? No, correct. So sometimes I feel sorry for them because it was so good. I say, it's a joke. You did get to the second interview. Right? I go, oh, thank God, thank God. When can I come for a second interview? I said, well, 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Okay, 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. What's the first reaction? 5 o'clock? 5 o'clock? I said, you just failed your final test. Because if a customer says, come and pick up the order, and you're a salesperson, what do? You drop everything, you pick up the order. Okay? If 5 o'clock is too early for them, forget it. But here's the thing. When he goes, no problem, I'll be there at 4:45, I say, it's a joke. I don't wake up then. See you at 9 o'clock. Okay? So all the time they feel they're being challenged. All the time they feel they're fighting for that job. Because when you offer it to them, they feel like they're winners, they're champions, they're gladiators. I want to take a book away from you. Right? No, I'm just kidding. So if in your interview process, if you make them work for it, they appreciate it more. In life, if people get things too easily, they don't appreciate it. Okay? So they come for a second, or 4th or 5th interview, and then I go through their CV. I ask the delicate questions. We talk about salaries. And it's amazing how many people, it happened to me 2 days ago. Somebody I really wanted went through the 6 steps, and he said, I'm on this high salary. And I said, well, I don't do that. Because well, I know I'm worth this salary. I said, well, I came here with nothing. And if you really believe in my products and see the opportunity, take half the hit. And if you look at your social media and this, and you hear about me, you know it's a good investment. Take a risk. He didn't. He didn't because he wants to maintain his salary. Okay? Now, what's happened is I've got people, my PA started 2 years ago on about $2,000 a month. My PA now, a lady called Ankita, I don't know if you know her, she's on $20,000 a month. And she started as my secretary because she's proved herself. And there's many, many people. How many months have we been working together? 5 months? Yeah. Have you had salary increases? Yeah. Have you ever asked? Never. Natia, how long have you been working for me? 5 months? How many salary increases have you had? 3 times. Right. Have you ever asked for it? No. No. Because in an organization, you pay people on performance. So it was his loss. He looked at the short-term loss, but he missed the long-term gain. Okay? So what I do is, if you go to my company, and if you go into the room behind you, this is my office, all my staff have their vision boards. They all have their personal goals in front of them. Because if I can help them achieve their personal goals, collectively, we'll do very well. So when I'm looking at motivated people, I'm doing this a lot because it's really, really important to the organization. They must have goals. People must have goals. But people say, yeah, I know I have a goal. I went to turn this company around last week, and somebody forgot to write the goal down. So she wrote down on a piece of paper, $50,000 a month, and stuck it on in front of her. I was like, if you can't be bothered going to a magazine, cut out the car you want, the holiday you want, the first-class flights you want to fly, the home you want, you're never going to make it. You're never going to make it unless you really focus on your personal goals. And make the effort. Just cut out the damn things and put it in front of you. So when you don't feel like making the call, that reminds you that you should make the call. That reminds you to make 10 more calls. I was successful in the UK because at Friday afternoon, when all my colleagues were out socializing, I was door knocking. My manager used to phone me and say, where the hell are you? Because he was used to bullying people. I said, I'm door knocking. And he used to have a GPS on the car. I said, oh, yeah, you are. Very good, very good. Put the phone down. Because I knew on a Friday afternoon, I could always catch the CEOs. Because all my competitors were out socializing. And I knew the CEOs were locking up. And I had my most success rate. I had my most success rate when it was raining. Because most of my competitor salespeople decided to stay in out of the rain. And when I turned up soaking wet, I had hair then, so my hair was out of place, right? People felt sorry for me. And I used to wear glasses, right? So I had these wipers going on my glasses. So when I used to turn up at the door and I was soaked, people used to feel sorry for me. They let me in. I had their attention. So your goals. You have to write your goals. If you don't write your goals, there'll always be a dream. There'll always be a dream. Because goals can be negotiated in your mind. So do you guys do that? Thank you for doing that. Okay? So, writing your goals. Quantify your goals. I want to be rich. I want to have a fast car. Visualize how much money you want in your bank. Visualize what cars you want. I always had a dream of having a car for every day of the week. Every day of the week, I was so poor, and I thought rich people have 7 cars. And I wrote it, I know it's shallow, and I wrote it as my goal. And today I have 7 cars, actually I have 9. But I have one, but when I wake up and I go, which car should I take? And it's such a good feeling. And I only go 3 kilometers up the road, and I go 3 kilometers back. You know, but it makes me feel good, right? Because that's one of my goals, and I documented it, and I achieved it, right? People think I'm crazy because it depreciates. Probably am. I should have houses instead, but what the hell. So you write your goals. You quantify them. And then you put a time scale. When are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? Guys, do you remember September the 11th when the 2 planes hit the building? Yeah, it's like yesterday, correct? Or maybe a couple of years ago. 17 years ago. 17 years ago. And it's gone like that. Right? We forward the clock 70 years from today, and it's 2035. I'll be 69. Yes? I wonder if we've achieved those goals 17 years ahead, like we achieved them 17 years back. Yes? Because what's your most valuable commodity? What's your most valuable time? Time. Because you'll never get it back. You never get it back. So you put a time scale. Here, 10% H. What does H stand for? That's a good salesman for you. I like that. Yes? But it's not the answer. Habits. Discipline. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. 5%. And please, please keep it clean. S. Keep it clean, okay? Salary, no. No. I've got no more books. No. Skill.